Hi, Francesca. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Welcome to our first session. Today we'll just be doing an evaluation, kind of getting to know more about you, understand more of the challenges that you're facing. What we want to do is gather a goal, put together a goal for you as well, following all the information that we can get, and we can go from there. How does that sound to you?
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So before we dive in, I just want to go over some of the policies that we have. Um, Everything in here is kept confidential. Do you understand confidentiality?
Yes, I can't be sure with anyone else but myself.
That's correct, yes. And there are a few exceptions. The exceptions are if you are in any danger, if you are at risk of hurting yourself, harming others, or if anybody's harming you, then I am a reporter. I do have to report those things, okay?
I understand. Hmm.
Okay. All right. And also, I do want you to understand that this is completely voluntary. It's up to you that you want to participate, and you can withdraw at any time. Do you have any questions about that?
Not at all.
Okay, awesome. So, could you tell me a little bit more about what brought you here today?
I feel like I've been in a season where I just haven't been myself lately. Um, I've been crying quite a lot. A lot of my family members and friends have also said that they've noticed a change in my behavior as well. Um, and there's been a lot of days where I'm not able to really get out of bed. I've been calling out of work quite often, and it's just not as happy as I used to be.
Okay. When did you first notice these symptoms?
Um, I'll probably say it occurred shortly after my cat passed away. She passed away in my arms. Taking her last breath, I had to rush her to the hospital, and they could not revive her from there. I called out of work for a week, and it's kind of just started escalating, getting worse from there.
Okay, how long ago did your cat pass away? I'm sorry.
About 3 weeks now.
3 weeks. Okay, it's pretty recent. How often does it occur, like when you call out of work, um, that you don't feel like yourself? How often, say throughout the week, do you feel that way?
I'd say probably every day. I would have certain moments where I just think about her passing, and it's been difficult even if I do go into work. Sometimes I leave early because I just can't deal with the situation of being around other people.
Okay. And you said it's every day. How long does that last throughout the day?
There are some moments where I'm okay if I'm like with friends or family and I'm laughing, maybe a good hour or two, and then something just reminds me of either loneliness or just death. And I would say it occurs probably every 5 hours or so.
And you mentioned that something would happen to um, evoke that feeling. Can you remember exactly like the moments that you would feel that way?
Um, Typically, it's even if I see a cat that resembles my cat, or if someone mentions her name, because a lot of people know that she's passed away, they would ask how I'm doing. Even just that, I would start just crying and just really not wanting to be out in the open. Um, or even if I see the spot where she's buried, because we buried her in the backyard, that would bring up a lot of memories as well. Or just everything that I have in the house. I still haven't gotten rid of her cat toys, her litter box, everything that pretty much was hers is still around me.
Mm. Well, thank you for sharing that. with me. I'm really sorry that you've been feeling that way the past 3 weeks, especially with losing someone that is very dear to you, losing your cat, who's very dear to you, probably spent almost every moment with you when you were home. Okay, and it seems like losing your cat has had a significant impact on your mood and your daily life. It's changed the way that you've lived, and it's also possibly affecting your sense of security, would you say?
It definitely is.
Okay. Have you found any days in the past 3 weeks where you've had motivation? And if you have, like, what do you normally do?
Um, I would try to at least go on walks, try to take care of myself at least. Um, but there hasn't been much that really gives me pleasure as it used to. I don't really have that much motivation to really do a lot of the things that I used to be or I used to do. Because I used to be a really good athlete. I loved my job. I loved being social, but none of that really helps anymore.
Okay. Do you live with anybody else?
No, it's just me.
So it sounds like those thoughts are really weighing on you. And when you think about your cat and the empty house, what specific thoughts typically go through your mind?
A lot of loneliness really occurs. She, again, I've had her for almost a decade, and I haven't really lived with anyone else. Um, she's kind of been like my best friend. I always slept with her, did everything with her. Since she's passed, it just made me realize how lonely I truly am.
Okay. And may I ask, after all of this, when did you realize that you would like to talk to somebody or speak to somebody?
I think really when my mom said I need to get out the house more, I realized I needed to pay some bills, and me not being able to go into work feel it really felt like it was a major issue I needed to handle.
Okay. And were you able to speak to any friends about it, or you think this was just the best option?
I think this is the best option. Whenever I speak to people, they kind of just tell me everything will be okay. And I just don't really feel like that's the best thing to hear right now, because I don't feel like it will be anytime soon. So I think just speaking to someone more experienced can help.
Okay. So it does sound like this is more of a situational depression. Am I correct? Because
Yes.
before you didn't really feel that way. You loved going into work, and maybe being more open with other people, but now it's just not the same. Okay. All right. So thank you for sharing all of that with me. I know that might have been really hard for you. So, have you ever heard of cognitive behavioral therapy before?
No, I
So,
haven't.
cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, it is based on the idea that our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors are related, are interconnected. Okay. When we change the way that we think about a situation, it can change how we feel and how we act. Throughout our sessions, this is something that we'll go through. We'll work on identifying and just challenging any negative thought patterns that you have, and behaviors that's contributing to your depression, your situational depression. We'll also develop coping strategies as well, just to help you manage those feelings and find a new sense of balance. How does that sound to you?
I think that's something I should do. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, CBT, it is very practical. It is more structured. Um, so my expectation for this treatment is just that we work together, we work collaboratively, just to identify specific goals and strategies that can help lift your mood and just reduce those symptoms of depression. Okay? It is important to remember that progress does take time. So unfortunately, we won't be able to change that this session or next session. But as long as there's a consistent effort, um, a lot of people do find CBT very effective. I'm here to support you throughout that time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So let's see. I do want to just summarize our session. So I did go over our confidentiality, our policy, and just know that this is your choice. You can withdraw at any time, and just let me know if anything is uncomfortable when we go forward. From what you have told me, you mentioned that you lost your cat 3 weeks ago. Right now, you are living alone, and it's very hard for you. There are times that you feel moments of loneliness. It's hard for you to get out of bed. You've called out of work pretty consistently, and now you're wanting to speak with somebody, but speaking with friends is a little difficult. As they say, it gets better, but sometimes that advice is not really easy to hear. And I'll be here to support you throughout that time. And it's nice that your mom. It seems like your mom is somebody who pushed you just so you can. Do you feel that way, that your mom has kind of pushed you to try to improve?
Yeah, she always does.
Good. Okay. All right. So moving forward, we'll focus on identifying specific thoughts and behaviors that do contribute to your depression, and we'll work on strategies to address that. Okay. Before we do end our session, how do you feel about what we discussed today?
I think you summarizing really helped a lot. It made me realize how much you do care and listen. So I appreciate that. And I'm just ready to start to see if this helps.
That's good to hear. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, or do you have any questions?
Not today, but thank you.
All right, so I'm glad to hear that, whatever I said today, it did sound like it could help. And I look forward to meeting next time.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good day.
You too.